Hi, okay, so I'm going to talk about my hemping. I haven't made any videos really of doing this, and I've nearly finished what I need to do on this wall for now, so I just wanted to do this little patch here and show you what I've been doing. On the rest of the wall, I've been filling in holes, and believe it or not, I know this isn't straight, but that was like 4 inches deep, and I built it up slowly. And so at the moment I'm just moving on to covering some more of the stones. Those 2 will be left and cleaned up, 3 in fact, and half of this one maybe. I'm going to attach shelves to this one eventually, so I don't really need to cover it up because steel fixings don't go very well with hemp. I think they start to rust or degrade anyway, so yeah, if I'm going to be bolting on shelves here, I'm just going to leave it plain for now. Anyway, so onto the hemp mix. This is my mix in here. It's hemp and lime putty. So not many people that I know of are doing this. In fact, I only found one video online by the amazing Portuguese DIY people Make Do Grow. I really recommend them if you want to know how to do things properly. She was the only person that I could find that was mixing hemp sheaves with lime putty, and I have a lot of lime putty and I like using the Calviva. It's really cheap. And yeah, it's easy and it's super sticky as well. So I tried some with NHL and it's actually easier for me with lime putty. I'm mixing everything by hand too, so it takes a while. But yeah, I mean, it's taken a long time to do. I'm on my 4th wall and you have to build up the layers to try and make it a little bit more even. Mine are never going to be even. I don't want to cast. Because that will cost a lot of money in hemp. I don't have a machine to do it, so it would take a hell of a long time, and it's already taken me a long time just to do like a few centimetres. Yeah, so it's looking more cave-like than nice smooth walls, and I'm also starting to sculpt with the hemp. You can't really see it right now, but yeah, because it's fibrous, I guess it acts like clay and straw, and you can sculpt with that. I haven't found anybody online that's sculpting with hemp onto their walls, but yeah, I've just tried it and it works. So everything will eventually be covered by lime plaster or lime render, lime plaster really, 2 coats, so it'll be much smoother. It won't look so much like wood chip wallpaper. Anyway, I'm going to show you a little bit of what I'm doing. So I wet this quite a while ago now. And I sort of squidge it on. And the lime putty, there are different consistencies in every bucket that I'm picking up, because some of it sat there a long time, some of it was from the top of the barrel when I decanted it, and that really makes a difference in terms of how sticky it is. So sometimes you have to work a lot to make it stick on. And then I sort of squidge it out a bit. It's very like tuna mayonnaise. And I don't even like tuna, but it really makes me want to have tuna mayonnaise sometimes. I'm sure by the end of it I'll never want to look at tuna mayonnaise again in my life. So it's easier to stick on if it has some hemp or hempcrete already around it, because then they sort of bind together. When it's if it's a fresh patch with nothing around it, like a fresh stone, I'm just putting it in the middle. That is much harder to do. It will stick, just takes longer because it's not binding in with the fibres around it. And after it's been on there a while, you can do it with your fingers, and you always wear gloves because it's got lime in it. And then you can just sort of spread it a little bit. It doesn't really spread so much as it helps the fibres move into each other, and that makes it stick more. Also makes it smoother for the rendering afterwards. You have to sort of catch it at the right moment to do that, depending on how sticky your mix is. If you do it too early, then all the straw will come off, and if it has less putty in it, it will also do that. I mean, not the straw, the hemp. The fibres will come off and sort of stick up a lot. Sometimes it's easier with my glove, and I just sort of do that afterwards and run them into each other so that it's sticking together more. But yeah, it can take up to an hour to get to that stage. If you do it too soon, it won't work, like I say. It might just fall off again. What else did I want to say? There are so many things really. I really love working with it because it's so tactile. I squish each ball before I put it on, you might notice that. So I'm sort of stood here, this is what I normally do even if I'm not talking to the camera. I'm sort of squishing the ball and it's sort of binding it together. And I'm also at that point going, where am I going to put the next one? Because sometimes if it's a drier mix, sometimes I want to let this dry a little bit before I put the next blob on, so I'll go somewhere else and just keep working back and forward. Depending on where I think it will go on most easily. But yeah, I'm tamping it a lot when I put it on. Sometimes like when it's really lime heavy, then it's super sticky and I don't really need to do that so much, but that is going to take a longer time to dry if it's more lime heavy. When it's less lime heavy, it will be faster to dry. And it will also have more insulation properties because there's less lime in your mix, so there's more fibre from the hemp. Mine isn't for insulation so much, it's mainly to even out the walls. I don't like the angular stones and I like the more rounded ones. Ideally I would want a flat wall. And yeah, if you're time rich and cash poor, this is a really good option. Like using the lime for my rendering, the Calviva rather than NHL or cement. Because, yeah, like I say, it's taken me a long time to do it by hand. And casting, you probably want at least 2 people to do it, one mixing and one placing it in the cast, and that means putting big plyboard sheets on, attaching them to the wall, putting upright timbers inside, and then you're pouring the Hempcrete mix, which has got far less lime in than this, into that, and then the next day you can pull off the frame and you will have a flat Hempcrete wall. This is a very different thing, and that's super insulative, and they often do it up to 12 inches, 30 centimetres. Yeah, so this is sort of a compromise. All my work is a compromise, so you can see that fell off because I wasn't really working it into the hemp around. I just put it on separately. Lots of it is falling on the floor. As long as you've brushed your floor before, you can pick all of it up and reuse it. Even if I don't use it on the wall now, I'll leave it till the end and I'll use it in the floor because I'm going to put Hempcrete in the floor too. So yeah, I'm really glad that I've been working with the hemp. It's been super interesting, and I was really terrified of doing this wall because it didn't feel strong. It was super filthy. I had to fill so many holes with granite boulders and lime mortar, and I was terrified that it was going to fall down in truth. So this hemp isn't structural. But it is definitely making it stronger, so when it's mixed with the lime and it's mixed with my granite stones which I put in, of course that's making it more structurally sound. I haven't done anything to the outside of this wall. It's got a lean-to on it, and the earth comes up to here, and so I'm going to pull earth away once this wall is strengthened. I didn't want to pull earth away from the back wall until I had a stronger wall. But I want to pull the earth away from the back and get back to the boulder so that rain isn't coming down the earth into the building from the back. But yeah, I'm not going to have hemp from here downwards. I might do that later when I know that it's not ground level here. It's hopefully going to be about here. Does that make sense? This is why I don't do videos very often, because I just end up talking absolute rubbish. But yeah, I'm hoping that some people will find it interesting that you can do it. You can mix it all by hand, the hemp. You can mix it with lime putty. It will still work. Lots of people mix it with NHL, which is also a lime, but it's more cementitious and it's more expensive. So yeah, if you're like me and you're time rich and cash poor, yeah, think about using it either in your walls or in your floors. It can be used interior or exterior. I've only used it interior. Yeah, and I will do a little video about the sculpting. I haven't been very ambitious, and I can't show you because I can't move the camera right now with my lime-filled gloves on, so I'll make another little video and put that up later. And yeah, I mean, I can show you on here actually. So I just get a little bit, do it bit by bit, and then I sort of stick it up and it's raised. I'm not going to leave this on, I can take it off very easily. And then you just sort of raise the bits. I don't know if it's picking it up on the camera. And I've made shelves like this because some of the gaps, like I say, they're inches and inches deep, and rather than build them up, you know, lots, I've just made small shelves, like little crevices more than shelves really. And then sort of sculpted around them a little bit. But you can see, you can just, you know, make little sausages and stick it in. And then sometimes I go around with my finger at the end just to blend that in so it doesn't all fall off in one piece. But I found that it's super sticky. Because it's got lime in it, this layer of lime is sticking to the next layer of lime and the fibres help it stay in place. There you go, you've got a little smile there. So yeah, I don't really want any sculpting on this particular stone, I want it flat. That's a sort of general idea. So yeah, even though I don't have access to clay, I really wanted to sculpt with clay, but I can play around with the hemp and sculpt a little with the hemp instead. So yeah, I hope that's useful and of some interest to people that are thinking of working with hemp in a DIY way. I've got the Hempcrete book by Stanwix. It's amazing, but it's for it's building regulation kind of hempcrete building. It's not like DIY, so they have to be super careful what they say in there and what they do to make sure that they're, you know, sticking with building regulations, which is obviously very sensible. But yeah, I'm really lucky because I'm just playing around in a tiny building in Portugal and doing what I like and just want to experiment with different materials. So yeah, I don't have those restrictions, but it means it's a bit harder sometimes to find information online. But like I say, if you really want to know more about working with hemp on the walls and stuff, go to Make Do Grow, they're brilliant. Okay, thanks, bye.